Okay. What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Danna-Gift Show. I'm your host, Danna-Gift, and I have with me an amazing fucking comedian here in Scottsdale. I don't know why I said fucking. I really had to add an emphasis to it. It's Eric Bernal. Am I pronouncing your last name?
Yeah, Eric Bernal is yeah. It was Eric Bernal, Eric Bernal, Eric Bernal. Yeah. Eric Bernal is. I always tell people it's like imagine like you burn all of a house down. You burn all. Burn all is like it's a weird last name because like on a resume you don't know like what to expect because my first name is like Irish Norwegian and my last name is that. But yeah.
Wait, what?
Eric.
Wait, Eric is a Norwegian name.
Irish Norwegian.
No shit.
Irish
I know is black.
Eric.
Or Mexican.
No,
Black
Eric. The what's it called? The where it's from. Eric is a very Irish name.
Oh,
E-R-I-C. Yeah, Eric. Eric the Red. It's a Viking. That's like the original Eric.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's like the original. Yeah.
Some history.
History is my shit. So we can dive
into that. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know him, he is based in Phoenix, Arizona, but he's originally from Sleepy Hollow, New York.
Sleepy Hollow, New York. Like
I'm not too familiar with Sleepy
Like the Headless Horseman.
Oh shit.
Ichabod Crane, all that. That's the actual town I'm from.
So is it actually haunted? Is it?
A lot of people go there for like paranormal activity.
That makes sense.
It's like there's no better place to go for in Halloween. Like
that's like Sedona. You go for energy, but
yeah, you go over there to like contact like your dead relatives. So it's there's even like Sleepy Hollow Instagram that I find interesting because the graves there are so old. They're from like the 1400s, 1500. No, like early 1500s.
Wow.
Because I think America was, 1492 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like early 1500s. It was considered a village. They call it the village of Sleepy Hollow. And there's graves that are just unexplainable. There's like a person that was born.
What do you mean unexplainable? Like they're not in a graveyard?
There's a grave where the person died before they were born. Like the year that they were born was after the year they were dead. It's a wild. It's like and no one knows what.
So it's like predicting.
Oh, I don't know what. I don't know if it could have been a mistake. It could have been. It's up for interpretation.
Is there more than one of these?
It's that one. They have like the graveyard of the unknown. So there's people. Yeah, it's shit like that. It's crazy.
See,
I have ghost stories and stuff like that have happened
really?
to me. Yeah, it's wild.
Are you pretty paranormal?
Oh yeah, I believe shit happens either because of connecting to another energy or like being hungover. Like I feel like it's like an altered state, right? So I feel like you have to almost like have to do that to connect to that because they say everything's like a frequency. We're probably on 98.2 right now.
Yep.
And all of the ghosts are here, but they're at 100.8.
We're not on the same frequency.
We're not on the same frequency, although we're happening at the same time. But I believe in that. Like I have a lot of stuff that's happened that sometimes I try to think like, oh, there's reason for it. Like.
Yeah, I do believe that everything does happen for a reason.
Well, there's so much. I mean, when you die, you don't. Was it energy cannot be destroyed or created?
Yeah, so that's why they say we're eternal beings.
Yeah, when you die, it gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
Got really
that's
dark.
True. Yeah. I was like, shit. we went deep into the grave.
So death.
Yeah. What is it? Do we go to heaven or hell? I'm just kidding. That's not what this podcast is about.
Could be. That's a good episode.
That would be a crazy episode. We'll have to bring you back for.
I'm down. I'm all about it.
Or even we can get into that in the alternate.
Well, Halloween, we can I could dress up like as a witch.
Wait, what? Why would you do that?
Because like what other time can you do that and it'd be like
true.
kind of okay.
Yeah, it's acceptable. It's acceptable during Halloween. Okay. Anyways, guys, let me go back to the intro here. We get sidetracked. I feel like that might happen a little bit. So he is the winner of the Arizona Foothills Magazine 2020 Best Comedian. He's traveled all over the country, headlining, featuring. I went into like a crazy research on your end too. I was like looking up all your articles and shit.
Did you see some weird shit?
Nothing weird. I did see on one of your articles it says your pet peeves was
not being on time.
Yeah.
And I was late today.
I was gonna ask you.
That's why I messaged you and called you. I feel super bad when I'm not on time.
Why is that? Why do you think that?
I think I get like anxious. And I think like my mom used to always tell me like your time is precious.
Yeah.
So people also, if they don't respect your time, they don't respect you. So I used to think like that. But then like a lot of like girls I've dated, and I just think like, I don't know if it's a woman thing. I know I have a best friend that I used to have a best friend was never early to anything. Always was late, and at one point we had to teach him a lesson.
Really?
And yeah, we would always pick him up.
Wait, okay. How late was he? Was it like 5 minutes later?
It was just always.
Okay, doesn't.
Let's say the movie started at 8. It takes 15 minutes to get there. We got there at 7:40. Hey, you got 5 minute cushion. It'd be 7:50. I'm like, hey man, and he would send his girlfriend downstairs to sit in the car so we couldn't leave.
Okay, that's the word.
Now we're young. At one point, my cousin was the one that was driving. One point, he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna leave you.
Yeah.
If you're not here on time." He's okay, yeah. But it's always the same thing. Comes down and sends down the girlfriend, locks the door. He goes, "You can come in when he gets down here."
Yeah.
And he said it, and he looked at the time, gave him even an extra minute. Bye. And then from there on in, like, the thing is, like, and that's, I don't know why, it really frustrates me. It frustrates me, like, I didn't know how far you were from me. I thought I looked at the GPS, I'm very timely. I'm very, like, I'm going to do this because after this, I got to do that, and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's always, like, pissed me off. And I think it's good for comedy because you got to show up on time for shows. You cannot be late.
Oh, that's true.
Like it kind of leads into now.
Yeah.
Like my mom always told me, and I'll reference her like a million times probably, but she's just like, if you had enough energy to party last night, you got enough energy to be at school or at work on time. So you better have that same energy almost. Like she was on it, like that phrase a long time ago. One time, okay, I can understand. But if it becomes like I'm just late all the time person. I'm
like you adopt that as your personality.
Like I think, and then I looked it up and I realized that it's kind of like a condition. I was like, no. You could get ready. And then the thing for the fact that there are people I have to lie to when things are supposed to be at. Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Oh, like they make up a crazy story about why they're late.
Well, no, like let's say I know that you're late all the time. Let's say.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, dinner's at 8. Please get there at 8. But dinner's at 8:30.
Okay.
Because I know you're late.
Yep.
And then, but here's the thing. Sometimes someone will catch on to that, like, well, he's always, and then it'll get me mad. And I don't know why that is. It's like a stupid little thing, but I feel like we all have these little idiosyncrasies that kind of like, you know, make us mad.
They kind of tick you. Yeah.
Oh, I knew a girl who, I remember we were going over house. We were all gonna have like a get together there, and I bought like, let's say White Claw, and I put it in the fridge, you know. And she was like, we do not put cardboard in the fridge. And I was like, what? She was like, that is...
I've actually never heard of that.
She was like, that is for animals. And I was like, all right. But it's like, here's the thing. It's her place, cool. Then I'll do it because it's her place. Yeah. But I bet you it's deeper than that. I bet you like for some reason...
It's a control thing?
I think almost maybe it's taught too. I bet you her mom told her like, hey, cardboard doesn't go into the fridge. I remember all my life, you know, my mom worked 2 jobs, so I always ate with a spoon for everything. And then when I actually went over like some of my other friends out there, like, dude, what are you eating with a spoon for? I'm like, what? This is normal to me.
Like chicken? I'll eat chicken with a spoon.
I'll eat everything with a spoon.
Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like, do you think that's just from having
It's cultural too.
Class? Okay.
It's cultural too.
I was going to say, because I never see my white friends do that.
No, but I know like the Philippines is definitely like straight spoons. It's a spoon culture. Like spoon culture. Which in all actuality, it's easier. And it's more practical in a sense. I think the fork thing comes from like...
It makes sense for
a dinner setting looks better that way.
True.
You know, you can't really scoop a salad with a spoon. Okay, that. Have a salad. I mean, how many times are you preparing a salad? Yeah. And then giving it... It's like that.
That would be difficult this way.
Oh, it's like when I used to be a waiter for a little bit when I was in high school. And like... Someone would complain that there was no lemon in their water. And my first initial reaction was... Is that how you drink water at home? There's no fucking way you drink water at home like that.
Some people do.
You're just doing that. But for majority, they only do that at a restaurant.
That's true. That is true.
It is like a hoity-toity thing of a request. And also a thing to be mad about. Because I can also get your lemon. It's not a big deal. It doesn't alter the way the water... Like, you could literally just put it in.
Some people just like having something in their drinks. Like, cannot drink straight water. I used to be complete opposite. I can only drink water.
I love water.
Yeah, I'm a big water fan, but then I started dating Dylan, and he drinks nothing but mixed drinks all the time.
Like mixed drinks
lemon,
what?
Like fizzy drinks or like lemon drinks.
He likes something with like flavor.
Yeah, something with inside of it.
Like his woman.
Yeah.
Hey, yo!
That could be it.
I was trying to get it there somehow. But yeah, no, it's true. But that could be from somewhere too.
Yeah.
I know people who are so sick of water because let's say, all right, I had a friend that went to Iraq, right? Mm-hmm. And this is early Iraq. And I remember she said that she could only, at one point, only have water. And she'll throw Skittles in there just to get some kind of flavoring.
What?
Right? Just like, because that's all she had available to her.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when she came back, she was like kind of repulsed by water a little bit. It reminded her of another time.
Oh, wow.
So like I said.
That's like when you have a bad association with alcohol.
Yeah, like, or and alcohol, where it's like, the smell reminds you of a time. That's kind of like smelling a cologne or perfume on someone. Yeah. Where it brings you back like, holy shit, that was the idiot from 11th grade. You know, like.
Brings back those memories.
We're cool.
Have you ever read The Untethered Soul?
I actually bought it last week.
Oh,
Believe
yeah.
It or not, somebody recommended it.
So before we started hitting record on this, I was talking to Eric and he was saying that you read a lot of material about relationships and things of that nature in order to get your material.
Yeah, because some of it is nonsense. Yeah. Some people just is like whatever. Some of it is really practical. I think like one of the things I learned was, and I would read it and it would either be something that I could relate to or my sisters or my friends. Yeah. So like I remember one thing I read was it was a question you had to answer. It said, were you at fault of your last relationship being the breakup? Most of the time people say no, it was not my fault, right? It's somebody else's fault. But let's say you're honest, you say it's your fault. Basically, in the book it explained how it's always at some level your fault. Whether it's the other person's 99% their fault and it's 1% your fault, that 1% is the part that you need to focus on and change. What they need to change, that's on them to figure out and everything else. But there is something, for you to walk away from a relationship and think that you were not any problem at all, now that's a problem in itself. So like, I started learning that. I was like, oh damn. Or like, I have a sister who had a kid and she... didn't work out with baby daddy, and I was reading this book while, like, it was just it just so happened to be. I don't know if it was like serendipity, but she said almost like word for word what this book was saying. That's how some women with single kids talk, and she was saying, I was like, why don't you go date? Why don't you go like, this is my sister. I want her to be happy, Yeah. And she's like, oh, I don't want to date. All I care is about my kid, and my kid is all I need, and that's all I need to be happy, and that's it. I'm okay with that. And in the book, which was written by a woman, she says, what a burden to put on your kid to make you that happy.
Oh, wow, yeah, because they're going to feel like they're responsible.
They're like to have that responsibility to make you happy, lady. That's what I told my sister. I'm like, look, your kid's going to grow up and get old and leave your house, and you're going to be alone. So, and also having a partner isn't the worst thing, especially a good partner in his life, whether it be delayed or whatever. Sometimes it works out differently for everyone. And then, no, she was like, oh my gosh. And when I said it like that, it was just like, and it's all about how you word things. That's another thing how I've understood. You could say two things to your partner, you can say the same thing to your partner in two different ways and get two different reactions, although the same message was sent. So, with her, she was like, but I just don't care about my life anymore. All I care is about my kid. It's a very likely thing that people say.
And she just
left
her recent?
It was years ago.
Okay.
And she was like, I just don't care about my life. I was like, I read this in the book. I know what comes next. Yeah. I said, all right, cool. Let's say that's okay. Let's just say you think that's okay. She goes, I think it's okay. Cool. You love your son? She's like, yeah. You had him when you were what, 21? Yeah. Imagine your son at 21 has a kid and says, Mom, I don't care about my life. Damn. All I care about is my kid. That's it. Oh, your reaction would be, I didn't give birth to you for you to give up on your life at 21. Yeah. And she was like, you're right. I was like, well, then imagine how my mom feels. You say things like that. So with reading the book, I get funny anecdotes of like, like one thing that like I always laugh when, like I used to date a girl who was a mother, right? I think single mom is a weird thing to say when you're dating someone.
I gotta hear about that one.
I think it's weird to say because you're not single. You're with someone. You can say mom life.
That's true.
I think when you say single mom, it almost looks like you are available.
Oh, like you're putting up a hey, like
single mom.
Sign. Yeah,
I'm available.
Yeah.
Single. Let me tell you something. If I had a kid and the girl I was with, and I posted at the gym single dad life, she would be upset. Oh, it's the same shit. Oh, it's the same shit. Oh, absolutely. What you're saying to the world, and there's almost like a fetish to single moms.
There is. Same with single dads.
So, but changing that to like mom life, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Because but I understand the whole. There's a movement behind it too. So, but I make a joke about it. I'm like, damn, I'm in a relationship, but this girl I'm dating is still single. She's still a single mom. You know, like it's a weird thing. But I read that in the book and how like it was same thing. Same one I was like reading to my sister, and how basically she was saying like, how would that make the man you're with feel? You publicly stating, always saying that you're single, you're doing this by yourself.
Yeah, so wait, hold on. What do you call yourself when you do start dating somebody?
Your mom.
Okay, so now you just call yourself a mom.
Well, so that's what you are.
That's true, yeah.
You're right, you're mom.
So when you add the single
your mom forever. Single mom sounds like there was no man in your life.
Yeah, okay.
There's no partner in your life. Yeah. Meanwhile, I was like, damn, I'm picking up the bill for 4 dinners a week when we hang out. Like, I'm not saying I'm a stepdad or anything like that, but you're most certainly not alone.
Yeah.
And so it's like a weird thing where to be like, well, no, you know, and it's funny because me and her would argue about that. We were together for 4 years, that girl, and whatever. But it's like I said, you could pick. That's why I would read to get funny shit out of because, but then it'd be bogus stuff.
Yeah.
Because then you'll see like, oh, this writer is coming from, there's an agenda. Mm-hmm. You should praise the land that your man walks. It's up to you and only, your life is only as it matters as much as his life does. And stuff like that, which is like, okay. Like, right? But like, you can see the way it's written where you're like, this is funny. Yeah. Because there are things that are like that. And it's like, I'll make fun of my sister one time when she was single. I mean, just an update on that. My sister did meet another guy. They've been together for 6 years. Oh wow! They had another baby, and he's the nicest dude I could ever think. Like it's almost like I don't even know why he likes her. Like she's like not the greatest. Oh. Just kidding. No, she's sweet, but like she's bitchy, you know.
Yeah.
And but he's so warm to her.
Yeah.
So nice, and that's the thing, like. You're not gonna get it right the first time, as we all know. Typically, you know, it's almost a requirement to get it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, no, that's where I dig it up, and honestly, comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
The same relationship that I talk about to make y'all laugh is the same one that made me cry at one point. Same one that made me upset. But after a while, once you're able to laugh about something that bad happened to you, it means you fully have gone over it. It's like your therapy.
So you're not, like, when you go through these things, these darker times, are you immediately turning it into material and jokes? It takes time. You have to wait till you're over it.
I literally, now that I have been a comedian for a few years now, it's like almost a requirement to see the brighter side of like even like a dark situation. That's the job of a comedian. That's why I think a lot of people get things. They go, you shouldn't talk about that. And to me, that's the reason you should talk about it. It's to bring levity to a situation. It's to be that guy. I was watching a podcast and this dude goes, you know, I'm not the guy that at your funeral crying with you. You know, like that you're, let's say your dad passed away. I find out that day. I'm not the person calling you that day crying with you because you're going to get that times a million. And it almost kind of does the opposite of what it should be doing.
Right, they get
constant
tired
reminder.
Of it.
Yeah,
right.
It's like you almost get frustrated. He goes, I'm the guy 2 days later going, hey, sorry about your dad. What we getting in the will? You know,
how can we move forward?
Yeah, how can we move? Yeah. How can we get rid of your creepy sister? That's what he said. He was just like, he was saying, he's like, and typically when I do that, my friend goes, oh, you son of a bitch. Like you can see that, you can probably hear in their voice they've been crying, and they go, man, I needed that.
Like I needed some fun.
I needed that. Even if you're making fun of a, it's crazy, right? Making fun of a death, right? But it's not. It's making light of a situation. That's our job, is to bring levity to everything. You can't, You can't go to a comedy show and expect us to bring you to the right direction of the Lord. We're there to make fun of things, be absolutely wrong, incorrect sometimes, reckless.
It's just your opinion.
And I mean, think about Kevin Hart. I never really understood his special, Laugh at My Pain, until I went through it. I was like, oh, laugh at my pain.
Yeah.
Because I bet you that stuff used to kill him at one point. And now he's gotten over it. Now he can laugh with you. So
during that process, while you're creating your material around these, because it's obviously you say you get over the time, you've allowed yourself to heal.
Yeah.
When you dig it back up again and put it into material,
you revisit the feeling.
Yeah. Does it hurt?
No. It's kind of like
an aha moment.
It's kind of like, how an actor has to cry for a scene, and they gotta reach for a thought or a memory.
That's really personal to them.
And boom, they turn on the waterworks, and then afterwards, we got it, cool. It's just something that you can tap into. If you can tap into that, it's great. It makes it. Think about it. I say the same joke hundreds of times, and I have to make sure that when you hear it, it's as if I'm saying it the first time. So it's a little bit of acting. Oh, it's a show. It's theater.
Yeah, it really
is. It is theater in a sense, We're up there where majority of comedians are very insecure. Majority of comedians, let's talk about just men, don't do well with women. Maybe this is their way into doing that. You think they're so confident on stage, and after when they get off stage, you'd be like, damn, that person was really shy. It's because they only feel alive up there. Now, that's not everyone, but that's some. Then you'll see women who are in comedy, they feel like some of them that I've spoken to personally, it could be anecdotal, but it's man, I was kind of shunned for a little bit to speak up. Now I get time, I can talk all my shit. It's almost at this time too.
Freeing.
Also at this time, women kind of feel more freer than ever to say whatever they want.
Yep.
In comedy. Now in real life too, is that great? I don't know. Time will tell. But that's all it is. It's about tapping into a feeling, getting over it. And that's the thing. I have a friend that passed away that was, we were 19 when he died.
Dang.
My boy Daniel. And he was in a vehicular manslaughter, and the kid that was driving was our boy too. It was a whole mess, man. I used to cry for years about it. The other day, I just remember him busting his ass one day on the snow, and I laughed so hard. And I was like, damn. I was like, I'm over it. It's almost not that I'm over him, and people think that if you laugh, that means you don't care about the person anymore. It's just no, they're finally having an opportunity for you to be like, yeah, you see, I want you to think of me and laugh, and not think of me and cry. I'm glad you're finally at that point, sort of thing. So same thing with your own personal experiences. We've all been done dirt, and we've all been dirty to people.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend that we are good people.
True.
All of us,
yeah.
We are good and we are bad, and hopefully we are better than what we were. You know what I mean? So that's all I get from those books. And like I said, some of them are fucking obnoxious. Even the woman one with what did Nikki Glaser said? She goes, there's always that book, girls, and the front of the cover, it's written out in period blood. That's what she says. She's it's all be that baddest bitch you could be. You know what I mean? Gosh. It's some of the stuff is good, and some of the stuff is okay. Same thing I can say for guys too.
Feminism, and this is probably gonna get me into some shit.
That's the best
Feminism.
part. That's what we can clip.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Let's do it
really quick, since we're talking about that.
Let's do it.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I love women empowerment and everything and supporting other women. But there's some shit. There's some lines that need to be drawn, I feel with feminism. They turned it in from empowering women to hating men. And I'm not.
And also hating other women.
Yeah, and hating other women for being the feminine or sexual. They hate on them.
It's hilarious because what it became. Some women became so feminist, they're so manly.
Yeah, it's we're not even.
You want to know why? Because think about everything that women complain about men about. Yeah. Objectifying their body, right? Mm-hmm. Men objectify their body, use them as sexual toys and without care.
Yep.
Right? Actually, statistics show that when women introduce a man amongst their friends, hey, this is the guy I'm seeing.
Yeah.
There's more critique on his height, his teeth,
the
clarity of his skin.
That's so true.
What he does for work.
Yep.
When a guy shows a girl, yo, it's oh shit, she's cute, man. Was she cool? Yeah, she's cool as shit. All right.
That's true.
That's literally what it is.
Body structure.
And that's the thing with anything. You become you hate the thing so much that you go the other direction to the point you meet it at the other end and you become it. You know what I mean? Like that to me is what it is. Like,
wow.
No, seriously, it's like I use this as an example because I have a sister who's very boss, like even as kids,
just
was always
masculine.
very just like. I don't have to answer the men. Like, I don't know what it was, but something. Like in high school, right?
Too.
Right? Yeah, so high school. But the thing is that we applaud that, but if we say for men to just say whatever they want to women, we tell them that they're crazy and they're hostile and maybe a predator. I think, so I'll give you an example. I was, 19? My sister was 16, so 16. I mean, hormones was flaring in a woman. You know, she's getting approached by grown men, young men, everything. She's at her most insecure about her body, probably. Yep. So just a lot of things going through her mind. So I would label my sister at that age very like feminist like. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I would come, I went to college. I'd come home. I had my own apartment, but I didn't live far. I'd come over. And I would always just come over just to help my mom out, see what she needed, whatever. I'm a single mom. Real single mom. Like, she doesn't date anyone.
Not mom like.
Nah, she's not like having dudes on the side calling herself single. So I'd correct her, too. No, but she, I'd walk in, I said, Mom, I'm going to go to the bathroom, wash my hands, whatever, before I go eat. Mm-hmm. And my mom was kind of doing something, and she said to my sister, hey, why don't you fix your brother a plate? That'd be really nice. She goes, what do I look like? His slave? His woman? Oh, wow. His this? That's demeaning to women. And Bob, that was the rant. Yeah. I heard it from the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit longer. She was, my mom just flipped out and said, excuse me? Excuse me? That's your brother. He's still a man. So that's how my sister was either absorbing that information somehow or whatever. Yeah. But it got her. But it was fixed in the same way because you treat hostility with hostility, you're going to get more hostility. Yeah. My mom was like, hey, when you were 14, 15, there was a boy bothering you. Didn't he show up? You told him he showed up with all his friends? Mm-hmm. Was he a slave to you because he did that? He did that because he loved you? Yeah. Guess what? When you're done fixing that plate, he's going to clean his plate. He's going to take out the trash. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Because don't think it's demeaning. Love is a give and take. Yeah, it is. He doesn't have anything on you. You don't have anything on him. Mm-hmm. You love him. Just because you do something for someone doesn't mean that you're beneath them. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's like, it's an act of love. There's going to be a bug in here. He's going to kill it for you. Yeah. You know, because you don't want to. Yeah. He's going to do it. Not because you own him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I get that. That's something that was killed really early within my sisters. Now it's very much like, hey, bro, what can I get you? And then to me, it's always like, hey, do you want to go out to eat? Like, I'll pay. When my mom explained give and take. Yeah. And now it's interesting time because I'll say it just the way I said it to you, and a lot of women who are like that, they're like, fuck, I never thought of it like that. Mm-hmm. And it's good because the thing is that it's good to have a conversation without being confrontational too. Yeah. You got to be able to like have a conversation without saying, you're wrong, you're a man, you don't know anything about women. It's like,
you got to be able to receive the punches if you're going to try and throw them too. Like, you know?
I'm here with you. I love y'all. Yeah. You know, so like, it's another one. Like, when, and you know what's so crazy? If you look back to the feminist movement, there was this woman who wrote this book in the late 80s, early 90s about women go get a buzz, don't have kids, don't do this. Those women are now like attacking her and saying, you made me not have a family. I'm in my late 40s now. Yep. And I'm super alone. Mm-hmm. Because of some type of rhetoric that you thought because you thought, and then you got enough momentum, and then we all believed it with you. Yeah.
I don't believe that every woman should be this boss babe, independent girl. I think some women are great in the house and taking care of the family and doing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. I completely agree.
There's a reason why women are more compassionate and men are more aggressive physically. I mean,
you think back to the old times, like you guys had a fucking
what we had to do.
Yeah,
what we had to do. Hunters, you know, you over there gathering berries, making elixirs, helping us heal ourselves. It's a give and take. So for people to be like, you know, like, oh, guys are such shitty people because they want to take care of us. Like, it's a weird thing. So it's like, I remember I read something the other day and it was like my little cousin posted it, 19 years old, like just a kid, 18. And he just said like, when I grow up, I want to make money. The first things that'll come out when I make it is now I can take care of my family. Girls my age, when they make money, they say, I don't need a man.
Yeah, yeah.
There's two different, almost like views on it,
Different
where it's just like,
agendas, yeah.
what is the, you know what I mean? Or it's like another good one that I heard. Women typically who have great fathers will always say they want a man like that father. Why not? Took care of you, respected you, great advice, probably great communication. But if a man says he wants a woman like his mother, and there's a problem. I'm not your mother. You know what I mean? So and the thing is like,
oh, that's so true.
Do you know how awful is it that you can request someone like your father, but I can't request someone like my mother?
Yeah.
And not saying that it's a bad thing. I think you may be thinking, because I reference an older woman, you're thinking of past times, and then it's correlated to this. And I get it. Nothing was perfect. Men cheated. You know, women definitely were more quiet. And that's just as an update, it's not like that no more.
We're not.
And that's fine. and there are changes that needed to happen. But I promise you, demasculating the person that you're with is never going to give you the man you want to be with. No. If anything, it would be easy to conquer him and do, but that's short term shit.
Even then, you'll lose him. Like, there's a hard lesson I learned very recently, because I mean, you met me before I even met Dylan. I was just a very masculine woman. I mean, feminine in my nature, but very masculine when it came to taking control of things, and I was a realtor. I was just living that life. And it wasn't until I started dating Dylan, he softened me. I started to see more of the, like, okay, oh my God, I have such a love and respect for men. He does take out the trash. He does do all this shit for me, like the shit that I don't want to do. Like, and now I feel like I've gotten a little soft, but it's okay because he enjoys doing it.
You want to know why? It's because innately, biologically, you're responding to natural things in your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to, without the protective survival.
And without outside interference.
Yeah.
That's like the worst shit, is to have outside interference. Like, let's say like guys are horny, right?
Yeah.
Because we're just as horny. No, we're meant to be. We're meant to want to be with you so freaking bad.
Yeah.
Because innately it's to procreate. Yeah. Now it is done for pure joy, and that's cool too. But you almost shame the guy for even wanting to do. Not you, but just some people do. They shame that person to be like, how can you? You know, I'm not a toy. And there's like this comic, shit, I really wish I knew his name. But he said, you know, my wife thinks all I want to do is have sex with her. That's not the case. I love my house, okay?
Yeah.
I love my house. I love my bathroom. Let's say the bathroom is sex. There's more to the house than just the bathroom.
That's true.
But let me tell you something. It would suck not to have the bathroom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and a lot of men can't communicate that well either. That thing, it comes off aggressive, which they'll need to work on too. But like with me, that's what I've learned. I'm like, you don't understand. It's not that's the only thing I want. It's just that it couldn't be a bigger compliment to you that's what I want from you. And again, dudes, could we be the most fearful thing after sex? We're like, whatever you want. What do you want to do? You want to go to bed? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you know what I mean? And the thing is that you're saying, after going through this thing of kind of being the boss, whatever, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. To me, what's wrong is making any partner feel bad. So if the guy makes you feel bad, you make the guy feel bad, there's something wrong in that. Yeah. Where you feel like some type of domination needs to happen. We feel like we have to be a certain way. We have to say certain things so people don't get mad. Where if you said exactly how you felt, you'd be happier and you'd get the results you wanted. Like, all right, you have a dog.
I do.
I have a dog. You know why they call it dog's best friend? I'm a history buff. So the history of the dog, which started with the gray wolf many millennia ago. Okay.
That was their version of.
So it was the first. It was the first interaction between animal and a human, where kindness advanced the civilization. So what I'm saying is that happened over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, Where now, I remember there was a talk about it, and how like they literally became, they were the reason why we were able to sleep through the night at one point. As humans,
because of their warmth.
Their warnings too, and they're alert. You see your dog when I can't. That's inside her. She's a wolf. That's why she acts like that.
Oh, I know.
She acts like that because innately that's what it is. Yeah. So like, and what I'm saying is you felt. You said like, oh, you showed your certain side. It made you come on this side. It feels good, right?
Yeah.
They say the experiment can be same within you, a man and a dog, a woman and a dog. Go somewhere safe that you can walk with your dog outside, where there's no one around but just you and your dog, off leash, and sense the connection that you two have. It comes from a long time ago, and I thought it was BS, to be honest with you. And then I went ahead and did it. And we were in Stone, we were like deep into something because I wanted to try it out. And for the fact that he just kept looking around to see what was around, like he, you know what I mean? He knew like I had his bag, he had my bag, and that person ended the speech like it really messed me up because he was like, "That's why your dog would if it needed to, it would sacrifice its life for you.
Yeah,
it'd kill itself for you."
Oh.
I was like, damn.
Dogs, I know.
Damn. But what I'm saying is connection.
Yep.
It's connection, right? So I'll probably make fun of myself later on about just even saying that. But but it's true, like when you...
We're designed differently.
Feminine, you want to be feminine? But what is that? Like there's like so much interpretations of the word.
Yeah.
Like, and then like masculinity, right? That's a whole other thing too. I'll tell you this, in comedy, it was never the most masculine men that were the predators. It was always the one that was like, we're for women. Anytime I see like a male feminist, I almost start thinking like, why are you so gung-ho about that? What's going on? Think about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby used to call other comedians, Eddie Murphy, tell them that they were foul-mouthed, they shouldn't use words like that. Yeah. And he would call individuals all the time and tell them how they were doing it wrong. Now they weren't doing it clean. Yeah. And now we come to find out is because he was living this whole other life. What masculine men do to me, for me, I think they keep the creeps in check. You know what I mean? It's always a masculine man is like, yo, no one's touching my girl. Like what? It's like and I was seeing this thing on a clinical psychologist was talking about it. It was like in history, there's always men who will be, psychopathy. There'll be psychopaths and there'll be narcissists, and they're typically more feminine. They're more
because they're driven by their emotions.
They're also very persuasive. Do you know what I mean? They're also very persuasive. It's always the masculine. It's like, yo, what the heck is this? What's going on? Something's fishy. Something doesn't feel right. Imagine that guy that was always like, yo, your guy friend likes you, and got it right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that being super macho is like the best thing in the world, but there is a place for that percentage of it. To me, there is something for it where it's like, anytime only history tells that story. Think about anyone who's like super like, you shouldn't be doing this, and then like we find out years later they were doing this whole other thing, getting other people pregnant, politicians, all this stuff, and so I
think it's more just heightened emotions. And again, that's a feminine nature too. I mean, our emotions, right? Like not being able to control them, but I think, the psychopaths are the people are the ones who are just not able to control their emotions.
Well, think about the dudes that shoot up places. Yeah. They're typically men that can't get women.
Yep. They're alone. They're not communicating.
They think that women are the problem, actually. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But it's because I feel like... I have a joke about this too. I was like, if we just let prostitution be legal, like, no one would shoot shit up.
It's not legal.
So, give me your friend's card. No, it's true. You look at other places. I visited Aruba, and I found out that prostitution is legal there.
I did not know this.
Yeah. When I went, it was because it was a little bit post-COVID, although they still had restrictions.
They were more open, though, for sure.
More restrictions. But when I spoke to them, I was like, yeah, it's legal. They go, yeah, when COVID happened, they had unemployment because they pay into the system. It takes the danger of being that person because it's regulated. Your pimp is not a pimp. It's just kind of like your manager.
Yeah, you're not
takes you to the hospital, make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
You're safe.
It's an actual place of employment.
Where like it's also women who want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's women that want to do it, and a lot of these places that it's so fucking weird this conversation where it went, but prostitution does lower crime rate. It's fucking wild. I mean, it's so like and it's a small percentage of men that do all these heinous shit, shoot people up and shit, whatever. There's millions of men, and there's what, a couple, maybe 100 people, that do these things, and we don't know how to attack it either. I mean, mix that plus a false reality of what the world is through social media. I get it. Yeah. I get it.
God, that is so true.
Let these hoes be hoes, yo.
Let them be hoes. Let the hoes be hoes.
Yo, feminist.
Do you think that the media is kind of persuading us to be more isolated?
Yeah, I think
that's why the whole feminist and masculine and movement and all that.
It almost looks on purpose.
I think it is. Honestly,
it's like men against women.
Yep, I feel like
I've never seen it like this. I'm 35. I've never seen
men against women
like
so
this.
Much. Yeah.
And then there's slowly the retaliation of men about it now. Yeah. Where like men, like we were talking, like, just let them say what they gotta say. We'd be quiet because it's like what I used to tell an ex of mine. She would scream at me in public.
Oof, that's never.
We'd have an argument. I don't yell. I'm not a person who yells at people. And I'm like, hey, can you please stop? Mm. And she would yell. But the reason she yelled is she knew that no one was going to come to my rescue. Mm. If I yelled at her, somebody would call the cops, somebody on my side hit me on the side of the face. Meanwhile, I could be in the right all I want. Yeah. So there's societal things that have already been in place where it's like, for sure, protect women, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's very important to do all of that. But to say like there are things in there that make us go like that is someone's vibrator outside. Shit. There's like a really
just on like the fucking power 10.
There's like a really good David Tell joke about vibrators. I just gotta say it. He said, why do women love vibrators? He asked the crowd. Like, I don't know. Because it sounds like a man who's listening.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's a great dude. David Tell is one of the best comics that's ever lived, ever walked this place. Yeah, he's amazing.
I've been watching Crazy Comedy again.
Oh yeah, gotta watch it.
Go through seasons.
It's a good release.
Yeah. Do you watch a bunch of comedy shows?
I watch a lot of comedy podcasts. It's alright. She's getting her shit going. No, I watch a lot of comedy podcasts only just to keep my ear to the streets and see what's going on, what's advancing. No. Like, because I'm gonna, I had a podcast previously with a co-host, and we decided to finish that, and then I'm gonna go back on it. But I think to me it's more like school.
I was gonna say, yeah, you did have a podcast, right?
Yeah, it was nominated for Best Podcast in AZ.
Holy shit!
Yeah, we didn't win, but it was nominated. It was cool.
What was it? What was it called?
It was called No He Knows Nothing. It was originally Noelle. Well, she probably no one calls her that, but Noe's it was originally her podcast. She asked for like a male comedian. We did about 30-something shows, maybe 35 episodes. Yeah. It was really good. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
I liked watching the clips from it.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah. And then, she decided she wanted to do it on her own, which is cool. Because now it made me rethink, like, maybe I want to do my own. And then, like, listening to comedy podcasts, I feel like I got the blueprint. That's why I was like, questions, we can go through questions if you want. But what I've seen successful is just like, let's just actually talk. Yeah. Because you don't want to be Barbara Walters. You know what I mean? Because you're not dead. Or white.
I honestly, I get tired of this super, super deep conversations all the damn time.
Shout out to Barbara Walters. Yeah, no, it's just about having fun, dude.
It's a combo,
It's like, okay, like what happened to you? How could it be related to really anything? And see where the conversation goes. Yeah. I think those are always the best. I've seen it where I go to a podcast, I'm like, all right, 1,000 people are doing this.
Same shit.
We gotta stand out.
Yeah.
Like I look at all my friends who do podcasts, I go, you guys are agreeing too much.
Yeah.
That shit is not good for clips.
You need to have some good content.
Like, you need a...
I just watched a clip about how, like, just be polarizing. Like, fucking express yourself and not be afraid. Cause
being polarizing is being you, though. Because you're not going to satisfy everyone.
Right. It's impossible.
Well, it's like this comedian, Whitney Cummings. Lovely, beautiful. I hope to meet her when she's here in March. Because I'm doing 5 shows with Giannis Pappas. Low-key plug, March 30th, 31st, April 1st.
By the way, I'm editing your video right away so that I can give you proper promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Yours is coming out Wednesday.
Sure, so then I am Thursday, February 16th, I'll be at Mic Drop Mania, a new club that just actually opened in February. Very nice, right? 100-seater. It's a Snow White themed comedy club. It's got 7 items on the menu for the 7 dwarves. It's beautiful. I mean, shout out to Dave Specht and Casey who made that happen. It's a beautiful place, and honestly, downtown Chandler needed a place like that, and just a different spot. There's 2 rooms. One room seats 100. The outside room seats 75.
So is there going to be 2 shows going on at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be very LA-ish.
Yeah.
That's what LA does, where they have multiple rooms.
No shit. I didn't know that they did that.
It just opened.
Oh, shit.
Just opened in February.
I want to check it out.
And then March 16th, I'll be producing a show where I'll be headlining. I have a guy that goes by Big Fudge. He'll be headlining. Oh, my
gosh. I know him. Well, I followed him because of your show, which, by the way... You host other comedians.
Yeah, I just did.
Very unique. I feel like.
I just did. Yeah, I did 5 shows with Chris Stefano.
Yeah.
End of January. That was awesome. 5 sold out shows. Shout out to Chris Stefano, man. This is like our 3rd time us teaming up together. And not that he necessarily needed me to sell out the shows, but my friends came, so shout out to the people that did go. But we did a theater show. So and I think it's just important just to say this, because you want to be the comic that, one, is good, honest to the craft, but also good to other people. And it's not about Chris Stefano, man. He's a super dope dude. I remember when we first linked, he asked me, like, yo, what's like your dream? Whatever. I was like, oh, there's like this theater in my town that I was raised in.
The Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, called the Terrytown Music Hall.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, on Main Street? And I was like, yeah. He goes, I'm performing there.
No shit. So you got to perform at your...
I got to perform in my hometown.
That is
like
cool.
250 people come out. It seems like close to 1,000.
How did that feel for you? Was that nostalgic?
It was wild. I think I've only been in that place one time as a kid. I don't know, 5th, 6th grade, to watch the Nutcracker.
When you were there in the stage as a kid, were you like, I'm going to be up there someday?
I just looked at it. I was at awe just performing. I always liked people who perform, like in
just theater and
arts. Yeah, like my mom, we used to take trips to Manhattan, and I would just see street, performing, dancing, singing, whatever it is, card games, scamming, like everything, so
scamming.
So it was a lot of scamming, prostitution, drugs, whatever. A lot of things I became numb to, but it was wild, because I remember, again, Chris is the man. His road manager Tommy hit me up and was like, hey, do we need to get you an Uber? Can we send you a car to go pick you up for the show? And I said, I'm staying at my aunt's house. I'm a 5-minute walk away. And it was just wild, just kind of like getting ready. And I was with my videographer, shout out to Gatsby. And he was like, you ready? I was like, yeah, let's go. And he kind of just followed me with the camera walking. This is the same walk.
The whole 5 minutes?
The whole 5 minutes. Okay. This is the same walk I would make from my aunt's house with my cousins, my cousin Christian, just to see what was going on in the town.
Yeah.
Literally, we would probably spend all of 1 second to look at the music hall and be like, oh, that's there, look who's coming.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, we were like, oh, look, people are coming here to perform. Never did I think that I was going to have the opportunity. I remember when he told me, he was like, you'll open for me then. Let's do it. And I was like, okay. And I went to the bathroom and I cried and shit. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's amazing. And not to give too much behind the scenes stuff, but I remember we were done with our shows in AZ the first time, and he was like, what's your Venmo? And he sent me a good amount of money.
For the show? Or?
For the show. Yeah, for the show in AZ. We had done sold out shows the first time around. And I was like, dude, you just paid for my like mortgage and my insurance and my car note. And
it's so
it was wild.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's what you tip when you make it, okay?
Oh, wow. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, yo, it's a lot. Yeah, I go out. I like to party. I like to drink. I like to do all those things. Yeah. It's simmered down a bit. I still like to hang out with my friends. I still love all the people that have supported me, like, big time. Like, people I didn't even think that would. Yeah. And it's nice because it was the first time I think I could think that being a genuine... It was the first time I could become myself. And I was like, oh, people accept this, but I don't have to pretend to be anyone. Yeah. Like, if a week that I just don't have any money, I can be like, hey, dudes, I'm broke. They're like, okay. Yeah, because you can I used to think there was like a condescending or like a judgmental thing as being a man, and also like portray I'm doing all these shows, but like I got other shit going on. Like, you know, I have family that needs assistance. I do a lot of things on behind the scenes, and I think it's important to be like, holy shit, like, it's good to have people that fuck with you because you're you. Yeah. A lot of times, you know, the men who receive attention have something to offer to their friends or their family or their girls. And then the girl, if she's really hot, you know what I mean, really good looking, I can almost feel it in girls sometimes. And that's a question I have for you. I'm gonna throw it back to you. Do it. I think it's interesting because I like people watching. So I'm at the bar, I like to see people. Yeah. Let's say there's a group of friends, but for some reason the guys want to just post a video with this one friend, a female friend, which happens to be really good looking. You know what I mean? And I think at some point she just feels like, all right, there's like other girls here. You can like, they're all our friends. Like, why is it just me? Yeah, like why? You because then I feel like then the girls are looking at her like, yo, bitch, like, what the hell? Like I mean, from the outside looking in, do you ever feel like that? People are just like posting you just like where it's like, okay, like hey. Just 'cause she's. I will say I have got to. I have been used to get into clubs on multiple occasions. Same. And it's so hot. Yeah. Name, prestige, or just look. I mean, looks for women. Status. Yeah, it's all status. Mm-hmm. It's so, but you could feel it when somebody's using you for that reason. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I remember literally 2 weeks ago at the shows, at the sold out shows, people I don't even know are just trying to like I kind of know. Yeah. Sort of. They see other people who had come to the show. Now, because those people went, now that's the cosign for them to be like, oh, if they went, then those people work here, and that guy's worth this, and this girl is this much followers. She's featured on that. He's featured on this. And it becomes like, are you fucking with me because you actually believe me, or is it because like it would be a cool thing to be a part of? Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I think that's something that, you know, I love Scottsdale. Love it to death. It gave me a lot. I'm just saying Scottsdale, not so much, not even like the party part of it. I believe just the people I've met who don't all live there. Yeah. Just Scottsdale. Just support, just the people that I've met and have supported me throughout the whole thing. And without that, I'm truly shit. Like, I literally say, I have a repost that I always post, an old tweet. It goes, thank you for everything. Sincerely and clearly, I ain't shit without y'all. So let's never make that a secret. Like, I think a lot of people think, like, whatever they do, they go, oh, yeah, self-made. But it's like, self-made, yes. But with your supporters. With your support. There's always that day one who just was like, I mean, I remember, you know, I know we want to talk about how we got into comedy, but I had a girlfriend, the same one that was a single mom for the whole time, and I remember we went to go see one of her friends perform, and she was like, oh yeah, that's my friend. I'm like, okay. I didn't think he was that good at the time. I'm sure he's way better now. It's been years. And I was on our car ride home, I said, you know what, I think I can do that.
You could be on stage.
I think I could do comedy. I think that, and it's kind of inspired me to see someone, locally go to LA, come back and headline at, at the clubs out here. And she said, it was like, oh, of course, come on, you can't do that shit.
Kind of like shrugging you off. Like,
she's like, come on, you'd be horrible at that.
Yeah.
Like, Eric, it's one thing to be funny with your friends, which is true. She's like, but let's be serious.
Yeah.
And I believed her. So that to me was always a big lesson. That's why I always tell people, like, oh, people said I suck. What do you think?
Yeah, do you feel like you suck?
And again, don't be fucking blind to the fact that maybe this ain't for you. That's one thing. But without even trying, I know people are like, no, someone told me I shouldn't. And I share that story. I always say, look, my ex told me this is not fair. I would not be good at it. So I didn't do it. Because typically when you love someone and they love you too, you take that word, you're like, you know what, maybe they're right.
Yeah, because you can think, why would they want to?
They could be onto something.
Right.
Right. And it took me 3 years after that to start comedy.
Really?
A friend of mine, shout out to Albert, 2-time Emmy Award-winning filmmaker out of Mesa, fucking just and I met him through like a girl that he was seeing was my friend, and then we became friends, closer even than me and her. And he just hit me up like on Tuesday at 1 a.m. just going, yeah, I'm watching Netflix, man. I'm like, okay, is everything all right? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's like 1 in the morning on a Tuesday. Like,
yeah.
He's like, you should do comedy. I don't know what's...
Just out of the blue.
Out of the blue. Out of the blue.
Holy shit.
I don't know what's telling me to tell you this, Eric, but you should do stand-up comedy.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, yeah, but I was still living in... I thought like him at one point, but I had it shut down. So I was still living in that shutdown mode where I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Didn't have the
belief
in yourself.
Sign up, we'll come support. So in comedy, when you first start, you do these things called bringer show.
A bringer show?
A bringer show is you have to bring a minimum amount of people to perform.
Oh shit, you gotta bring your own crowd. Okay.
So like, the one I was a part of, it was so many comics, maybe 15 comics.
Holy shit.
Everybody got 5 minutes. And you had to bring 10 people each or you couldn't perform.
Damn, 5 minutes too. That's it.
So to bring people, and all of them had 2 drink minimum. Now the only benefit is that they'll say, "Hey, the ticket is waived for them. They don't have to pay for the ticket."
Oh, okay. So it's just a packed house. But I mean, obviously, you're still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But
I brought 62 people. I brought 62 people.
62.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And
then just that early on, I was like, "Oh shit!" People are kind of like fuck with me in general, I guess.
What happened? Did they start paying you when you bring over the minimum?
No, it's crazy. So, because I was so early on, I didn't know how to ask for like time on stage.
Yeah.
I remember I was working at a bank for like many years, and I remember I went to a booker. I was like, "Can I give you $200 and can I go feature this Saturday?" And they were like, "Dude, that is not how this fucking works." Come like, here you go, fucking $200. And I thought like I could buy my way into it. It was an idiot. I sounded stupid saying it, but that's okay.
You should be able to do that.
But you know what? It's cool that I love that the guy didn't accept the money. He was so in love with the craft that he was like, "No, you go do work, Eric. You hit the mics. You perform for free. You wait for hours to perform. Sometimes you may not even perform. And when I hear that you've been all over the place for a couple of years, then maybe I will reach out."
Damn.
Best thing that was ever told to me. Because then I started doing things and I was getting booked, and then I said, but then the entrepreneurial myself came out and I was like, I can book myself.
Yeah.
I just need a venue.
So you started reaching out to people, or?
Well, then the pandemic happened.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then
you never tried to do a Zoom comedy sketch?
I did one and it was like the worst day of my life.
Did you really? That was a joke.
It is the stupidest thing. I mean, I killed, which is crazy. Because I just
hold on.
I literally made fun of everyone on the screen. I'm like, you guys are such fucking losers at home watching a Zoom comedy show. You guys should be either finger blasting yourself or fucking going actively and getting COVID, you dumb idiots. I know the majority of you women are here because of the host, who is my friend who's hosting this, is big and black, but he only has one dick and he can only stick it one place. And I got mad.
Really?
And I just kept going, and people were like, I could see their face, and I'm like, fuck this digital bullshit. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. Light yourself on fire. And I was like, rebuke whatever fucking God you believe in. I was just, and I said it like that, and then I started realizing like, there's a power in the way I speak sometimes, just kind of coming off the cuff.
Yeah.
And I never did crowd work. I solely did a drive-in movie theater show.
Okay.
Which is kind of different.
That must have been interesting.
It was interesting because I'm always thinking, how do we make it better? How do we make it more than just a drive-in movie?
Yeah.
And I remember, before I met you, before I met a lot of people we know.
Yeah.
I remember I went to the owner of those running. I said, I need the first 8 to 10 spaces in the front of the stage reserved for me. He goes, what? I'm like, yeah. No one can be there except my people. Okay. He's like, all right, well, they better buy. I'm like, yeah, they're going to buy it. Cool.
Yeah.
I said, how do we make this better? Fuck it, let's make it a car show.
Oh, along with your comedy show.
So people had to pull in. So I had my friend came in with his McLaren, the other one with the Lambo, other one with the Rolls Royce, other one with the Beamer, other with the Benz, other with this.
This is like a rap song.
Like other with the Benz, chilling with my friends. Fuck all y'all.
Pull in the drive-in.
Hey.
That's actually the new hit single.
Clip it. There goes the vibrator again. No, so my whole thinking, dude, and I feel like we maybe have similar thinking because creatives are creative.
Yeah.
I always just look at like, all right, cool. People are doing that. That's fine. How do I make this better?
More fun. More exciting.
Fun. Because people came out of their cars and were like, what cars are those? They came over, took pictures.
Really?
I made it more eventful for them. I made it worth their money.
While you were doing your...
No, people had to get there and wait, right? For the show to start.
Oh, so they had something
So I was setting them up.
Ah, smart.
And then there was a guy actually that was doing interviews with a long mic because of COVID.
Yeah.
He was doing a long mic. And
mic.
yeah, it was just like it was a ridiculous time in our life. But and it was cool because I went on stage and I totally forgot that in the drive-in there's a big screen.
Yeah.
So it's just
that
me,
makes sense.
it's just me and there's just this huge screen.
Oh, and your face
above
on
me,
it.
and just like the cameras follow me as I'm doing my bit,
and
I'm hosting the whole night. So it was just super fun, but that's how that happened. So imagine first okay, I'm gonna give it my all, and then it started off great. I started doing shows, and boom, COVID. Then I did that, and then I would do any opportunity. I would perform anywhere and anywhere. I didn't care, and then I was.
How did you find the strength to fucking keep doing that? Like, how did you not get depressed if it was, so exhausting and...
I think something that my mom said. I could be that way.
Yeah.
It's a decision. The alternative is to not be that way.
It's just a choice.
And the same time will pass.
Yeah.
So, even the little time, me and my dad became cool when I was 18. I remember he owns a painting company, and we painted one time when I was 18 years old for a whole summer, and I fucking hated it. And I would do a bad job. And I still would have to paint. It would hurt. It would be exhausting, actually. Mm. And he goes, why the hell does it look like this? He goes, Eric, do you know it takes the same energy to do it right and to do it wrong? So you might as well do it right.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? So that sinks in me. So these little things slowly, there are things that literally just click for me and that I've heard 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That I'm like, seriously. Yeah. Seriously. And then I pitched the idea to El Jefe in Scottsdale because
I think I was at that show.
You want to know what what inspired that? I was watching a movie called Goodfellas.
Oh, I love Goodfellas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he takes her out and they go to the kitchen? Table right here for you.
Yep.
It made me realize everyone's sitting down and they're enjoying a show. Mm-hmm. And these are this is a nightclub in New York City. This is the thing. So I go, well, the clubs are open, but everyone has to sit down. You have to sit down. Mm-hmm. Not only do you have to sit down, you have to eat. You have to order something for the... And everybody's been dying to do fucking something than just listen to music and talk to their friends.
True. Yeah.
So I pitched the idea. I pitched the idea several times before COVID. And
that was like right after COVID, right?
Yeah, it was like a year after.
Yeah.
And then I was like, can we please do it? And they're like, what do you want to do? I was like, well, can we just... I negotiated my deal with them, and they were like, hey, what do we have to lose? You want to do it on a Wednesday? It was on a Wednesday.
It was packed as fuck.
We had to deny 30-something people that paid at the door and return all their money.
Wow.
So it was like, it was a testament to just the hustle, and also my friends being there for me, man. I would be nothing without the people that support me and that reposted me and things like that. Like for my birthday, I'd be like, don't even shout me out. Can you just repost one of my clips? Like, that would be a better, for anything.
Engagement is huge.
So, you already know how that is. So, I did that. I was successful. And then, literally, I was just like I said, I started thinking of other things constantly, like, I was in banking for many years, and I was so unhappy. Although the money was good, it was great money. I bought a house with it. I bought a car with it.
Sometimes it's not enough though.
Vacation, Yeah. Towards last year, last year I left corporate.
So hold on, did you stay in banking while you were? Wow. Okay.
So last year was the year I left corporate world.
Last year, and now you do comedy full time.
100%. That's what I do, and I'd rather even make less or the same or more. That's the thing. Like, I was speaking to Chris DeStefano about it. He goes, "You'll be good at this once you know you would do it for free."
Yeah.
That
the money can't buy you out.
This whole thing is just me telling random stories, but there's a story, man, that I was like 21 years old. I was working in Manhattan on 66th Street and Broadway. I was making a little money selling furniture out there, and I had a suit that was maybe all $200, and I went to a bar that drinks. I mean, this is 2009.
That was when the first market.
Yeah,
market.
So it was just about to crash. It was just about to be hell. Or 2008 actually. 2008. That's right. 2008. It was just about to crash. And I went to a bar, and I was like, okay, I got American Express credit card. I thought I was hot shit. I
used to think I was hot shit at 21.
I sat next to some dude, and I saw him, like, oh, we're both wearing a suit. But then I saw his suit, I'm like, it's so much nicer. Shit. And I looked at his watch, I'm like, is that Cartier? It's like, I looked at his shoes, I'm like, those red bottoms? Like, they were just like fancy ass shoes. And what's funny is that man will never know. Like, it literally changed everything for me. And I only thought of that last year when he told me that day. We were both trying to get at the same girl. I was a young 21-year-old.
Wow.
I was cute. I got my fucking Christian Dior 3/4 length coat on that my mom found at Goodwill.
Okay, styling.
Yo, it was beautiful. It was this like navy blue Christian Dior 3/4 length like coat. It went well with every suit. And I made sure when I folded it so you could see the Christian Dior on it.
Yeah.
And me and him were trying to talk to the same girl. Didn't happen. Didn't work. We laughed about it.
So she didn't take any of y'all.
No. Fuck you losers. Fuck the young one and the old one. He would have been in his like 40s, late 40s at the time. Good looking guy. And I was always in habit at that time at 21. Anybody who was older than me that was willing to talk to me, I would always say, can you give me advice? Like, what advice would you give yourself at 21? That was always my thing. Whatever age I was. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
You just crave knowledge.
And I remember he said something so fucking deep that I wasn't ready for it at the time. I thought it was cool at the time because I wrote it down on my phone. I wrote it down on my phone or something. And he said, advice. Okay, advice. Exactly how he said it. Okay. No amount of success can compensate for failure in the home.
Oh, wow.
He said, and it was the first time that he went from being very smiley about it to very serious. And his whole demeanor changed. He said, Eric, I'm a wealthy man. You could tell, right? And I was like, yeah, it's fucking the watch.
Yeah.
I was like, the watch. I was like, yo, your suit's nice. My suit will light on fire and shit. Like.
You're a hot ass man.
Yo, and I was like, no amount of success can compensate for failure in the home. He goes, yeah, Eric. what does it matter that I make millions if my wife hates me?
Yeah.
What does it matter that I can buy anything I want, but my kids refuse to want to spend time with me for what money has led me to do? I lost my family because of success. So no amount of success can compensate for failure in the home. You got to be happy here before you can be happy out there. I remember I took it like, okay. You know, I was like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But then I remember I spent the weekend with a celebrity comic. I had such a fucking great time. I ate, I drank with him. So happy.
Wait, can you tell us what celebrity comic it was?
I think it was Giannis Papas.
Okay.
Giannis Papas, the first time. And I just like, I've been following him since 2011.
Yeah,
like,
big fan.
Huge fan. New York, he's huge, and he's huge now. And he's fucking, to me, one of the most talented people I know. Or I think that I know. Right, that I've met. And I finished the weekend, and I went to work on Monday. So imagine, I'm hanging out with him. The guy I looked up to, watched on TV, subscribed to his podcast in 2018, 2019. And I was doing all these things, and I was taking him to the sneaker store. We went out to eat, and then we had lunch with Brendan Schaub, who was another comedian, UFC fighter. And then with Brendan Schaub was the comic that I saw with my girlfriend that she went to school with. Oh. We all went full circle,
Yeah,
it was like, but to me, it was still an amazing weekend. Because he said, I remember you. It was a wild thing. Having all of that, living on a high, even at the Saturday night, after our second show, I dropped them off at the condominium that the club provides them. Yeah. And I remember the last he didn't say shit about my comedy all weekend. The last week he was like, "Hey man, this one is good. Like, you're good, man. It's good shit." And I was like, "It's the best compliment ever, And on Monday I went to work to a place where they told me when I can take a piss.
Wait, they had to give you permission when you were...
No, you know what I mean? Like break time. Break time is this time. And this is the only time you can go on break. Like that's how much I really like looked at it. I'm like, you're telling me when I can eat food? Yeah. When I'm not hungry, I have to force feed myself and go back and put on this fake voice and go to work and say, "How was your weekend, Betty?" "Oh, it was great." And put on this fake act. Literally that day is the day I remember. No amount of success can compensate for failure in the home. And I said, fuck this place. Give me my 2 weeks. Thank you for everything you provided me. And I bounced. And I did it. And I remember I posted it the other day about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy goes, your plan B will be the reason that your plan A doesn't succeed. Having something to fall back on will always prevent you from actually reaching the goal of whatever you're trying to do.
I 100% believe
You know what I mean? I'm nowhere even close to what I want to be. I'm not even... I know it's years, and we'll look back on these shits and we'll laugh about it. It's years of what I want to do. Yeah. But I'm willing to do it. Because I'd rather do that, maybe not make it, fail, whatever, if that is what happens, than to never know and then be on your deathbed, There's like a book about... Why? Yeah, there's a book about this guy interviewed I don't know how many people on their deathbed. That was the number one thing. It was not traveling enough and not doing what they love and not seeing their family. Not about the BMWs, not about the Mercedes-Benz, not about any of that stuff. It's about their family and close shit. So, fuck, let's try this. Sure. Do the podcast. Do this. You know what I mean? Instagram. I don't understand why you keep showing me girls' nipples, but thank you. Hey, do whatever it is that you think that is useful to society.
Do what feels good for you. I think that's I know we're at
100%.
That's honestly a good note to end it on. At the end of the day, the comedian's journey is not promised. Nobody's fucking journey is promised. You could be a banker, like you're saying, and fucking have your promotions in line, and they can decide to go with the next person.
Yeah. Would you rather fail at comedy, or would you rather fail at your passion, or fail at some shit that you didn't even want to do to begin with?
Yep, that's true. Very true. And that's why I'm all in on this.
That's good.
But it took me a while to get here. It took a lot of exploring and like trying to convince myself that this isn't what I wanted to do because this isn't where the money was.
And you'll see through every episode, you're gonna get more open to your audience. You're gonna be like, yo, one time my pinky toe was really ugly. I was embarrassed about it. It was not cute. I'm actually still very concerned about it.
Oh my God.
I say that because I have a big toe that's literally was smashed by a sliding door that came off the slide, and it's never been back to normal. It's like an evil toe. It's black. It's nasty as shit.
Did the nail fall off yet?
It's fallen off. It's grown back. It's grown
okay.
fungus. It's come off. I picked at it.
It came back and went away again.
I mean, it's like I have
like toxic eggs.
or herpes on my toe. I don't know what it is, but this shit is. I'm like embarrassed to ever show. And I used to have a really nice big toe. I feel like those people be like, I used to have a really nice body.
I used to have a really nice big toe.
I used to have a really nice. You gotta believe. I'll show you pictures.
I took pictures before.
Yeah. Now this shit looks like
sliding door.
This like my left toe, nice. It looks good. Went to a nice school, has money in the bank, savings, 401k. This one commits murders. Like has been molested. It's been through a ringer, yo. Like I don't like looking at that toe.
Oh
I feel like it. Like, I'm being serious. Like this is not even whatever. You laugh, but.
You just gotta wrap it up. So if you ever want to wear your open toes,
yeah, I'm over there. I'm gonna wrap it up in the pool and shit. I wish it's cold forever. This is gonna suck.
I had a girlfriend who actually lost 2 of her big toes for going to Blue Chip Buffalo or something like that.
Oh like yeah, where you could ride a buffalo. Ride a bull.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of cougars there. A bunch of like older. Like, I don't know if that's the place.
Oh, I thought you meant like the animal.
Like women cougars.
What do you mean she lost toes too?
She lost 2 big toes so we all went out and decided to try something new. We went to this club and there was a bunch of cougars there. And when we hit the dance floor, they were not having it. They didn't want us there. It was not okay to be the young girls taking up on.
How dare you?
How dare we? I know. Like our skin, we got some snapback. How the fuck dare we? Anyways. Yeah, so we get on the dance floor and these ladies are basically trying to like push and shove us, and they fucking stepped on her I don't know how. Oh. She must have been like
with a heel to the toe?
Yeah, 2, but both of her big toes were just
They must have practiced.
Yeah,
that sounds fucking wow. That sounds very fucking purposeful. Like,
yeah. How do you plan that?
Like, wait, all the youngsters are here. We practice this at home for weeks.
Yeah, but her 2 big toes, they were bruised for weeks, and then they just fell off, and now they don't go back.
No, the toenails fell, not the toe.
The toenail, sorry.
Okay, so I was like, this woman went through like tragic anatomy, like
about the same
difference.
It's kind of weird when you lose your toenail, though, too.
I know. I always say that joke because like I dated a girl in college that had no pinky toenail, and she didn't care. She was like really cute.
Some girls don't care.
She didn't care. I was like, yo, that shit looks like it's sick.
That looks like love.
That shit looks like Uncle Fester. Like that shit is not good. It look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like shit not only got the little hump to it, but it's like got no nail on it. It looks ill.
I could tell you're a foot guy.
It's not that I'm a foot. I mean, I also have eyes. I mean, I can see. You have feet, okay? No, I'm not. No, that's weird. I remember she would like that I made fun of it. She's like, cool. And I like that. I almost like that. Somebody who can laugh at themselves.
Yeah, you should.
Like laughing at insecurities. Yeah. Like, I'm overshare. Real quick, I knew a girl that grew 1 hair out of her nipple. It was so long.
Excuse me, just one?
And just one? No, just like, and here's the thing. I'd have more respect for her if it was like more around. But for just to have one, I was like, your nipple is lazy. Not only is it lazy, it's like it's
underperforming.
Yeah, it's underperforming, and also it's long, and I don't even think it matched like the hair on her head. I was like,
was it a different color?
Yeah, I think it was like a brownish.
It was like a Katniss. Katniss Everdeen just fucking rebelling against.
Yeah, it was like a guy that was balding that put the little swoop of hair like right over here. Literally what it looked like.
Did she cover her nipple?
No, I took it off one time. I was like 21 years old.
How dare you?
And she was pissed.
I would have been upset.
She was like, I like it. I was like, you're fucking nuts, girl. You fucking
let my nipple titties grow.
Fucking 1 hair nipple. Nah, the other titty was spectacular. The other titty went to school. That one even, I don't know what, a haircut. But
I guess that's a recommendation for bald people. Just fucking shave it.
Look, I'm not shaming anyone who have hairy nipples. Go do your thing. Hairy nipples, hairy. I mean, I'm from the Latin community where there's a lot of lower back hair, but this is the way they are. It's okay.
The better to grab them on, too.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Catches the sweat to your ass, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sure there was some kind of strategic survival thing that happened. Anyways.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that was the original. That was, wow, an hour and 20 minutes. That was the, we haven't even gone to the altered state.
I know, we're just
gonna rip it with the
I'm gonna do a line of blow real quick and then I'll get to the next one.
That was the end of this episode. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.